For more than a year now, I have been on the hunt for the best gaming controller on the market, and today I have a really interesting candidate. It's made by PowerA. It's called the Moga XP Ultra multi-platform wireless controller for mobile, PC, and Xbox Series X and S. And as you can see, it's got some really unique features. I'm excited to go ahead and test it out and give you guys a closer look. I want to give a shout out to PowerA for not only sending me this awesome controller to test out with you guys, but also for being today's video sponsor. Opening up the package, PowerA includes the Moga XP Ultra controller, a mobile gaming clip, a USB-C charging cable, and even a code for a free month of Xbox Game Pass. The XP Ultra is the first licensed wireless third-party controller for the Xbox, which means that it uses first-party connectivity protocol. This creates seamless wireless connection with the Xbox Series X and S. Now, of course, playing on your Xbox Series X or S is really just scratching the surface of what this controller can really do, because it can also connect wirelessly to your Xbox One, a gaming PC, Android mobile, and even compatible smart TVs. Now, I've been gaming actively with the XP Ultra for about 2 weeks now, and one of the very first features on this controller that impressed me was actually the thumbsticks. By direct comparison, they have a slightly heavier texturing on them than the standard first-party Xbox controller that comes with the console. This is nice, but that's not exactly what stood out to me, because the best part about them is that they also feature anti-friction rings, and this provides a nice, smooth, snag-free motion while gaming. Now, of course, anti-friction rings are a subtle detail that I think a lot of gamers forget about when they're shopping for a pro controller, and by all means, it may be nitpicking. However, I'm looking for the best controller on the market on my channel, and that type of attention to detail is really nice because not every controller company thinks about that. Moving along to the controller grips, you're gonna notice that the XP Ultra grips are very similar to the texture that you'd find on the standard Xbox controller that came with the console. However, where the XP Ultra sets itself apart is that the texture actually wraps itself around the front of the handles. So as I'm pressing all the buttons on this controller, I'm noticing that they have a very similar weight, springiness, and feel to the original Xbox controller, that is with exception of the right and left bumpers, which just happen to be more clicky. So for competitive gamers, this controller actually has 2 remappable back buttons right here located on the back. Now, I am a big fan of these, and the reason why is because they're extremely clicky, light, and responsive. So when you're pressing them, they feel great. The feedback is really good on them. I find the spring and the weight to them to be very crisp, and I like that out of a back button. But the part that really impressed me, for my hands at least, is that the positioning of them is excellent. They fit right into the handles, right in my middle fingers. I don't have to adjust, move my hands, or anything to press them. They're very comfortable to use, so that's why I like them so much. If you want to remap them, you'll notice there's actually a button that says Moga right in the middle of the grip on the back, so you just hold that down for a couple seconds. Now, there's a couple LED indicators on the front of the controller. This one up top above the Xbox button will start to blink a few times when it's in remapping mode. All you have to do is hold down one of the back buttons that you'd like to map, and then you find out which button you would like to map it to, and you hold them both down at the same time. When performed correctly, this LED indicator will actually blink rapidly, and then it's as simple as just repeating the process for the secondary button, and you're all good to go. And when we flip the controller over and look at the bottom, you're gonna notice a couple distinct features. Number one, there's a 3.5mm headphone jack for gaming headsets, and number two, there's actually a spring-loaded slider. When engaged, it actually releases the mini pad away from the detachable handle. Now, this gives gamers a completely new way to game. I can see this especially useful for gamers on the go who will happen to be traveling and they're looking for a compact controller to take with them in a backpack or in their pocket. Speaking of modularity and features, it's really nice that PowerA decided to include the mobile gaming clip in the packaging. I've definitely bought accessories like this before, and when they're universal fit and you just get it off Amazon, they kind of work for everything, but they don't work perfectly for anything. So the problem is with mobile phones getting larger and heavier these days, especially if you have a big case on them, it can feel really uncomfortable to game with them attached to your controller, and that's why this first party fit is so important. I like the fact that the phone clip is easily adjustable, and it seems to be able to accommodate even some of the largest smartphones with ease. One distinct advantage this controller provides over the standard Xbox controller is that it features a 2000 milliamp rechargeable battery, which basically means that the controller can last up to 40 hours in Bluetooth mode on one single charge, and up to 60 hours when connected to an Xbox wirelessly. Now that we've gone over the hardware features, it's time to start some gameplay testing. Since the Moga XP Ultra has a 4-in-1 modular design. I'll be actually conducting the gameplay testing using the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. And if you're not familiar with this service, it's awesome because it allows me to cloud game across different devices. For example, I could start out on my Xbox, then quickly switch over to my cell phone and even finish up on a gaming PC. We'll go ahead and start with wireless gameplay on the Xbox Series S. Because the XP Ultra is officially licensed by Xbox, connecting it to the console is familiar and easy. So I started off by playing a sports game in Madden. I had a lot of fun with this. The controller buttons are obviously very clicky and responsive, so I really enjoyed playing that. Then I went over to a racing game, Forza, and I even decided to remove the detachable grips and play just with the gamepad alone. This was a lot of fun to test out. I still prefer playing with the grip, but even playing without, I think a lot of people will enjoy. And then of course, even getting into a competitive shooter and FPS like Halo Infinite, I really enjoyed the clicky responsive back buttons. Now, one more thing I want to mention about playing on the Xbox, whether you play wired or wireless, there's virtually no latency that anyone would ever notice. Switching over to the mobile gaming experience with the XP Ultra was absolutely awesome. As I stated before, the phone clip clicks firmly into place on the top and the back of the controller, giving you a solid feel while gaming. The XP Ultra pairs with Bluetooth and works with any Android mobile device. Of course, one of the coolest features is that I started out playing Forza on my Xbox and I was immediately able to pause the game, open up my phone, and then use the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate to pick up right where I left off. So the fact that I can play AAA titles with the Xbox Game Pass on a full-size controller and then fold it away for a compact portable design, I am absolutely going to be bringing this with me every single time I travel. The part of the test I was most interested in trying out was going to be PC gaming. I think for most gamers, when they get out of playing video games on a console and end up buying a gaming PC, it's because they're looking for a competitive advantage. This is also true for gamers that like to buy controllers like this that are above and beyond the specs and hardware of a standard gaming controller that would just say come with your Xbox. I was able to pick up where I left off in my Forza race. I finished that up and the controller felt great. Keep in mind, if your PC has Bluetooth connectivity, you can connect this controller wirelessly. However, competitive advantage suggests that we should play plugged in so that we get the lowest latency possible. I quickly switch over to Halo Infinite, and this is where I really got a feel for just how nice those back buttons on this controller truly are. Being able to keep my thumbs on the joysticks more often by replacing and remapping the A and B button functionality to the rear buttons is a major advantage. And overall, this controller felt extremely natural to use, and I was able to perform with it right away on a competitive level. I gotta say, gaming with the XP Ultra controller has been an absolute pleasure. It's very familiar and reminiscent of playing with the original Xbox first-party controller, but it has significant upgrades. Now, these upgrades are very tastefully done in my opinion. I think too often third-party controllers, they try to do way too much and they end up ruining what's already a pretty great design. In my personal opinion, I think PowerA hit the nail on the head when making this controller. It really is unique and it sets itself apart from almost any other controller on the market today. And if you guys want to check out this controller for yourself, I'll be sure to leave a link to this controller down in the description below. If you happen to be new to the channel and you enjoyed the video, please hit the subscribe button. And if you want to support financially, check out these new t-shirts, these out-of-the-box shirts. I had them custom made for my subscribers. So if you're looking to pick up a new t-shirt for the summer, go check this out. I'll leave a link to that in the comments section.